Hey yo, between me and you, I think it's time for rhyming. This is something like food for thought, so woke on the perfect temperature rhyming while living on college diets. Living like I'm the nicest, the price I paid for this crisis. I'm fighting to prove I'm righteous, and lighting to prove I'm heightened, and titan and not a slave. Am I hyping up for your stage? If so, I'm like Tyson fighting and bison when biting off of your gauge, and I'm fighting to make a likeness and siphon off all your rage. While these actors about their roles, now I'm slicing up Johnny Cage. See, this is sort of like Mortal Kombat with bomb raps. Call me Striker, urgently squeeze bazookas. I'm aiming at these fools whose words are leaving the booth and whose flavor quick as bazooka. Cause flavor's what they don't do, like gold diggers on Flavor Flav when they saving up for a coup. And then they poof. That's kinda messed up. But see, the Carlo coming next up till I drop the best of. So while these spitters busy shooting for that throne, I bring a vision real enough to turn Medusa into stone. See, I'm the type to rip the snakes up out her head and place her head up on my shelf to show demons how they get dealt. When they fiendin', I lean on self. I got Jesus up in myself. Don't need me to find a reason, just need him for spiritual health. It's kinda simple, it's mental, the words against you, the bottom spirit from tissue and smiling like what's the issue? I'm rhyming this not to diss you, I'm rhyming it just to get you to understand that my plan is to thunder jam on my issues. I'm trying to make them scramble like they was Vic and cross over like the answer when he was sick. I'm in a mansion and dirty dancing with Fancy in 96. I'm lifting stanzas like I'm Sansa, romancing a perfect damsel with candles over the mantle, then handled it like I'm Rambo. Delilah just couldn't handle conniving, she took that gamble. This picture perfect is worth it for me to say that I'm working to move the earth and birthing lyrics for certain while swerving into my purpose until Jesus closing my curtains. I'm sorry if I'm overstating my purpose, but I felt the need cause it's urgent to let y'all know that your time is well spent. To be with DeCarlo is well worth it. So with no further ado, I'm through warming up through these verses, and if it's all the same to you, I think it's time that I get to working. It's the beginning, so here's a topic of interest. Master met a chocolate black woman to make his mistress. Now mulatto women raising us children and scraping dishes, and we recycle this message that melanin makes us different. Staking claim to his winches and breaking bank for the bucks. See, they taking a winch and buck and they married cause they in love. But see, Master took her from me, then he took her in lust. Way before the A's and drugs and the gangs were breaking us up. I'm raising up since the 80s and catching up to this gravy, no detriment to the babies who dilly-daddling crazy. But really, it's kind of shady through years of shackles and slaving. My people still acting lazy and still be the last to pay me. So I'ma change the conversation and take us higher above. They say that life's a bee, they pray they making her lust. And if she truly knocking knees, they pray they making her trust. But I pray that she never stray on the day they hang us for love. So here's a rope. Gonna tie it up in a noose. Throw it around this tree and make sure it ain't coming loose. Now string him up and just leave him hanging for proof. And let his mother worry about picking that strange fruit. So let me pose a question. Who's the killer of this brother in this tree that's swinging naked? With them bullets through his lenses, stab wounds, and send a message. He been bumping rap tunes to pass on, he won't regret it. Cause nowadays, all he heard about was brothers pulling triggers and leaving brothers in rivers, or quarter brothers delivered them bullets into a system. And the symbols of words of wisdom are living off cool intention, thinking about who they lynching, thinking about who to mention or bring it to whose attention. But if money's the motivation to make a move on a mission, youngers should know the enemy make a move on commission. He taking crews to the district, hanging fools in the lynching and taking schools to detention. But see, the way I'm popping mollies, I hardly don't need a road. Back on Africa's coast, they bought us with guns and liquor, and now I'm still sipping shots of these spirits like bodies don't need a soul. When I pop a bottle and party, it's hardly a need for hope. Like I'm sorry I'm copping Raris, they probably don't need my vote. Matter of fact, I see a rope. I'ma tie it up in a noose. I'ma throw it around this tree and make sure it ain't coming loose. Now string me up and just leave me hanging for proof. And let my mother worry about picking that strange fruit. Sometimes I wonder who's lynching who.